Hey, what's going on, guys? Vega here from Serpent X Special Forces, and this is going to be a quick video, but I just wanted to talk about a couple of issues that users have reported to me, as well as some that I've seen myself with the RTX 3080 series. It might just apply for all 3000 series. This is a fairly new GPU. There's going to be issues, growing pains, especially as we have to wait for Nvidia to optimize drivers, as well as game developers or even mining devs to update their software to match. But for example, NotYourNormalMiner, he's been doing a number of videos on this, and he has one FE Nvidia Founders Edition 3080 that is not performing as it should, or is not performing with what we expect. And I even have the Nvidia's Founders Edition as well. Now this is going to a good home, and you can't see it, but you know what it looks like, and it's having issues itself. But I'm not going to RMA just yet, because I think it's a really good golden sample. And let me explain first NotYourNormalMiner situation and then my situation. He's getting one card that's only pulling about 196 watts, and it's only getting 80 something mega hash, while one card is getting 90 or above and it's pulling 320 watts. And he's using HIVEOS, which is a Linux based operating system. And if you pay attention, Nvidia, when they release driver optimizations or updates, they will release it for Windows before they release it for Linux. And when they release it for Windows, we can get those instantly, but when they release it for Linux, now the mining OSs, HIVEOS and otherwise, have to implement that into an update, or they can manually download the Linux version and then run the batch or the commands to extract and load that new Nvidia driver. They don't always have the most updated driver, but you can get the latest one, and if you know how to manually run Linux and issue commands, you can also do that through the console that they have available within these mining operating systems. But I wouldn't go RMAing, don't RMA your card and don't tear it down just yet, because what I noticed is when I'm mining, sometimes even if I apply a profile, for example, this profile that it's loaded up on MSI Afterburner with an 80% TDP, 0 on the core, 850 on the mem, when I was loading it, it would not take. So that would put me with 80% TDP, that would put me about 255 watts, but I was only pulling 216 or 215, and the TDP on hardware info average of 65%. So instead of running at 80%, it was running at 65%. And I had to load that. In order to load that, hitting 5 and apply and apply and apply did not work. What I had to do is I actually had to hit the reset button here in the middle, let that all load back, add my fan profile back to the card, because when you do that, it takes away your aggressive fan profile. So make sure you add that back, otherwise you're going to overheat or get too hot. And then load the clock that I wanted with the 80% TDP. And it takes a few times to get these cards to do it just right. Another system or program that you can use is EVGA Precision X. If MSI Afterburner is not applying your overclocks as it should, try another GPU overclocking utility, whether it's EVGA Precision, the ORS tool, Nvidia, I think Inspector, whatever, just to test whether or not it's software related and is it one particular software or not. We got to let these guys, especially the GPU overclocking utilities, update their programs for these new 3000 series. You can't really utilize everything. I like EVGA Precision though, because we get everything that we can manage. It's a pretty little GUI that we have, or graphic user interface, as well as I can control the LEDs where I couldn't control it in MSI Afterburner. And let me show you this. So down here I can control the zones. Now typically the card's going to come with white, but if I switch it, and let me go ahead and switch it to the second cam. If I switch it, you'll see the LED at the top there. The one on the side does not change. And when I switch to color, I can switch it to whatever I want. Let's go ahead and just go with basic blue. Hit apply, and then you see that it would change to blue to match the system, the blue LED. So that's pretty cool about EVGA Precision. And you can see my kilowatt meter there, which I've been using to maintain. That leads into another category, another section that I like about this. Besides being able to sync your LEDs between multiple cards and using hardware monitor, which both MSI Afterburner and EVGA Precision provide, there's a power section here. Now, scan is not highlighted for me, but when you first load this, you can scan your system. It's going to detect everything you have, the number of GPUs, CPUs, so on and so forth. Now, the reason it says 2 GPUs is because it's counting the integrated GPU from Intel, the 9900K. But then I have a bunch of hard drives and SSDs, and I did choose the option for overclock, which is why EVGA is recommending a power supply of 900 watts. That's another concern that everybody needs to pay attention to. I know that was a big hot topic there for a good minute, but I can get away with an 850 watt power supply. That does not mean you need to get a beast of a power supply just to run 13080. The reason I need so much power is because I have a bunch of LEDs. I have a bunch of hard drives or SSDs. I got a bunch of peripherals and components on my system. It's a main rig, and I add to it, and it draws a lot of power, especially when overclocked. And when I chose the overclocked option, that's why I'm at the 900 watts. But if I chose I'm not overclocked and then hit scan submit, it will be a different story. I can get away with an 850 watt EVGA BQ power supply and be just fine. That's what I was running before I upgraded to the Seasonic 1200 watt. So before you go and reach out to your manufacturer or the person or company that sold it to you, don't RMA it just yet. See if it's software related. If you try to apply an overclock and MSI Afterburner, try EVGA Precision. If you try EVGA Precision and still doesn't work, try Nvidia Inspector. It may be software related. Give it time for Nvidia to provide us drivers, and it will continue to do so. And if you're using a Linux-based mining operating system, you may just have to give it a little bit before you can actually utilize those drivers, unless you know how to manually use the console and load those drivers onto that mining operating system. But things will come to pass. New updates will come as we go along. We're on 4.56.71, which is what I'm on, and I haven't had any issues. My RTX 3080 has been running great, not only in gaming but in mining as well. I get above the 200 watts. It's just sometimes when I apply an overclock, it doesn't always take, and it just requires a little bit of finagling, testing, and troubleshooting, because I really doubt there's these fuses on the GPUs, and I really doubt that you guys are blowing the fuses. The fuses are there for protection, but they also can be used in the RMA process by the people to kind of determine, okay, this fuse blew. Why did it blow? And then trace it back and replace that component or refurbish or whatever they need to do. But I think it's software related that's holding us back, and it's going to take time, especially because, for example, on compute workloads like in crypto mining, BMiner can't use the 3080s, Crypto Dredge can't, MiniZ, CC Miner. There's a number of different miners that I tested out recently in my awesome miner testing that can't utilize or even see the GPU. So we just have to wait as the miner devs update kernels, make optimizations, as the game developers make optimizations, and as Nvidia releases drivers. So before you go and try to return your card, maybe try a couple other software programs that might help you out and apply the overclock that you're seeking. I hope you guys have a great day. That's going to do it for me today. Do me a favor, hit the like button on the way out, subscribe for more content like this, and hit me up in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're having issues. Take care, guys.